What do you got for a setup there? So you're against your wall. Is that a desk you're in front of?
No, my table. I got a table and the wall behind me, and I got a little lamp.
Shouldn't the table be against the wall?
Table is against the wall.
You're against the wall.
We're both against the wall. I'm on the side of the table.
You're on the side of the table. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yes.
Like a woman rides a horse.
Motherfucker.
Tiger?
Yankees just won.
Yeah, who cares?
I care. We're hosting a show called Boston Centric. It's the Red Sox home opener. Fake it a little bit.
I wanted it to be called Baseball Sucks, a Basketball Podcast.
Yes, I remember. And then we realized that neither of us actually knew basketball well enough to do just a basketball podcast.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I don't think
If
so.
anything, that's what we could do. I mean, I'm not going to watch baseball. I don't even have the means to watch baseball. I have YouTube TV.
You can listen to baseball on the radio.
We were talking about that, Paul and I.
Yeah.
And in that time, I decided against it.
When we were picking when to listen to this podcast, I said, why don't we do Friday at 5? Because then we could talk about Red Sox home opener.
Yeah. And until Paul mentioned it, I thought that the game had been postponed.
Yesterday's was.
And I heard today's was. I saw Will Noonan last night. And he said that today's was off as well.
Nope.
But that's okay. I watched a little of the Masters, and I went for a run, if you want to cover some of my own athletics.
That is the peak of Boston sports.
But the Southie to the South End run?
Yeah, comedians running in Southie.
Yeah.
Although not running away from anything. That's unusual.
Oh, point to point.
Nice.
Back to whence I came, only slightly weaker.
But stronger for it in the long run.
In the long run, but now weaker.
There you go.
Don't you think,
all right, so what do we talk?
Do you think that ever happened? Like, if like in ancient battle, you'd figure out when somebody was drilling or like exercising, and it's like, hey, let's fucking go get them while they're pooped.
I guess it's possible. I don't know that they exercise to the point of exhaustion quite like that.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you were in a phalanx, it really wasn't about individual strength, was it?
No. Yeah, it was more teamwork. I think they drilled probably more than they did calisthenics.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. And also everybody back then had kind of general farmer strength.
Right. It was more of a CrossFit kind of life.
Yeah. As opposed to our new army, which is a bunch of fat fucks hitting buttons.
We support our troops here on Boston Centric.
But if you support a troop from the woods and no one can hear it.
That's true. We would need a couple more listeners before we actually got in trouble for that, wouldn't we?
Yeah. We don't support the troops, and they're no worse for it.
Did you ever do USO? You did USO, right?
Oh, no. Turned them down. No.
Why is that?
I've done military bases in Massachusetts, but that's not USO.
Yeah, that's not USO. No, there's not a lot of active skirmishes here.
Yeah, it's not USO if you took the pike to get there.
Right. I sort of did USO, but it feels a little fake. So we were in Japan.
That's real.
So it's not like...
No, that's totally real.
Yeah.
Not as much as it would have been in the 40s, but...
Right. But it was more like, everybody was sort of just chilling out in Japan. Like, no one's actually nervous. No one's risking their lives.
No. But I mean, those are important bases for us if that whole Taiwan, Korea thing ever happens.
It is important. Is Taiwan going to go to war with Korea?
Well, no, our biggest concerns are in that region are Korea and Taiwan, right? Not against each other.
Well, the idea that China and Taiwan might get into it, but Taiwan is an ally.
Yes, I know, but I didn't mean them fighting each other. I was just trying to save time.
Gotcha.
Because this is, as you've mentioned, a sports podcast.
As you can tell from the first 5 minutes.
They make all our microchips.
Many are made there.
Shouldn't we spread that out a little?
You'd think, But that's something that we should have done with most of our stuff, and we never have. We pick one place that doesn't like us very much to supply us with one thing that's very important to us.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like we should throw something in South America.
That would help.
I feel like nothing ever comes from there. I could be wrong.
Well, we get stuff and then we get mad at them for it.
You mean immigrants?
We get some. No, I was actually thinking about cocaine.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't do cocaine, but it's got to come from somewhere, and a boat seems like an unsafe place to bring it.
I feel like cocaine made a surprising comedy comeback in the past 5 years and so.
Wasn't it like a good economy drug?
It tends to be.
Yeah. So, Trump was so good at the economy that cocaine came back.
He wasn't good at poor people economy.
That would be a good campaign slogan. I'll cure cocaine addiction by making us all so poor.
It has been a long time. Yeah, I'm out of sync.
What do you mean?
I feel like normally I would have had something to say in response to that. Instead, I just sort of looked dumbfounded at you when you said that.
Oh, I thought you had pixelated.
I pixelated in real life.
I had my buddy Doug Gurton, your friend as well, I believe, listen to our podcast. And he said, I don't think Dorval likes you.
That's not true.
That's his review.
I'm more fond of you than almost anyone who interrupts me as much as you do.
That would be a great podcast. That was the best era of Mark Maron's podcast. Were those first
the interrupting era?
No, those first 100 episodes where it was like just him apologizing to everyone that he'd ever offended. That was great fun. Radio, and then he got successful and very, very boring.
It did change when suddenly everyone was really grateful to be on the podcast instead of him being really grateful to everyone being on the podcast.
Yeah, no good. Like when he was apologizing to Gaffigan for like being mean to him year one, that was fucking awesome.
You got to go back and listen to that.
Was it Gaffigan?
I didn't really listen to year one, Maron.
Might have been Birbiglia. Yeah, the beginning of that was awesome.
I got to go back and listen to that. Yeah, my wife won't listen to our podcast anymore.
Your wife is listening to our podcast?
She did. She tried. She stopped. She gets mad at you for interrupting me all the time. And so now she doesn't listen anymore.
That's my conversational style.
I know that. I respect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was listening. She's like, you keep trying to say something and he keeps not listening. And then he keeps talking about something else. I was like, yeah, that's what Dan does.
Yeah. No, it's, I think Terry Gross is boring. And I decided to just do the opposite of what she does.
Perfect. And our show is going in the opposite direction of Terry Gross.
I want to be somewhere between Larry King and Tom Dustin.
That's a wide range.
It's similar athleticism and body.
Yeah, especially these days. Poor Tom.
Yeah, poor guy.
Our friend Tom Dustin, ruptured his Achilles down in Key West.
We don't know yet.
Oh, no, he posted it. It's ruptured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he posted on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen a Facebook post in quite a while.
It's sad news.
Yes. Yeah, I called him today. He didn't get back to me. Which is even sadder news.
It is. He's probably very upset about missing the Olympics. Not ready to talk to people yet.
Is the Summer Olympics this year?
I don't know.
Didn't you say Olympics?
I did, because it's ridiculous to think that Tom Dustin might have been competing in the Olympics
of any sort in any year.
Yes, exactly.
It was turned into a roast of a guy that will never hear this.
It's any of us. It's the Olympics. I'm not saying the guy couldn't have made it down the street in Saudi. Just speaking about a 40-year-old comic in Florida, probably not competing in the Olympics.
Do you think if anyone curled from the time they were like 6, they'd be an Olympian?
No. Because it's big up in Canada. There are tons of people who've been curling since they were kids who weren't good enough to be curlers in the Olympics.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't think about it at all.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it.
It's fun.
Yeah. I like bocce. I like any of those.
Yeah. When I was in Canada, we would see kids just like walking down the street with their curling brushes sticking out of their backpacks. In the colder climates, it's a big deal.
In America, you'd be worried that's a gun.
In Canada, it could be a gun, but you're not worried they're going to hurt anybody with it.
If in Canada that's a gun, that's like, this guy's going to conquer this country.
Right. Because in Canada, a gun is just a rifle for hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are tons of guns in Canada. There were almost every house had a gun cabinet, but they were all just long rifles for hunting. No one had a handgun. No one had an automatic weapon. Yeah.
You can still kill a guy with a hunting rifle, though.
You can, but you have to really want to. And it's that guy. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like no one's just going out with a hunting rifle to just kill as many people as possible.
Yeah.
He's mad at a guy.
Okay, then we should all have hunting rifles.
I'd be fine with that. Be very comfortable with me having a hunting rifle. Yeah. All right. So Red Sox, you don't want to talk about. Celtics are seemingly locked into third place. It's possible still for them to get second or fourth, but a lot of things have to happen. So it looks like they're going to be the number 3 seed.
Against
and
Chicago?
It seems like they wanted to be. Right now, it would be Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I know we sat Tatum and Horford, but Horford makes sense because I don't think he was playing a lot of back-to-backs anyway.
Yeah.
Why we end the year on a back-to-back is insane.
Yeah.
Was that because of a COVID makeup or something?
It might have been. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it seemed odd to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as long as I'd love to have home court against Milwaukee potentially.
That would be nice, but I think I would rather avoid Brooklyn in round 1.
Yes, Chicago.
And I definitely want to avoid Toronto because apparently Jalen is not going to be able to get into Canada.
Isn't it amazing that Jalen and Aaron Rodgers both went to Cal, which is like a borderline Ivy League school, and they're both fucking morons?
Rodgers is a moron. Jalen, this is surprising to me because Jalen has been really smart and thoughtful about absolutely everything else he's ever commented on. And the idea that he's not vaccinated is really surprising to me.
Jalen Rodgers, it doesn't strike me as a very fun guy.
I didn't say fun. It's smart.
He doesn't seem to smile ever. He's not very, like, all the other guys seem pretty loose.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought Jalen seemed fun. He has the most fun haircut. He's got the throwback.
I think he's going R&B. I think he's going a little bald for that haircut.
You think so?
Isn't it like lower here? Or is that on purpose?
I think that's on purpose.
That's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah. Man cares about how he looks.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Back in the 90s, they put effort. Everybody put effort into their hair in the 90s. And then that all went away.
I think they still do now. I mean, I'm amazed that there aren't more kind of scruffy haircuts and shit out there. Like, I think they must have a team barber.
I think they do.
Yeah, because I would look like shit. Like, it took...
If you were an NBA player?
Oh, yeah. I look like shit now. I go on stage all the time. I cut my own hair.
Do we want to talk about the joke that you got mad at us for not responding to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So James and Dan and I are all in the text thread that's been going on for a long time. And it's essentially NBA talk. And do you guys think this is funny? And Dan got mad at us the other day because he said, hey, I sent you guys a joke. You guys said nothing. And I've been closing with it and it's been killing. And we apologized. We said, what's the joke? And you told us. We said, we've never heard that joke before in our lives, ever. And I searched for the keywords in that joke and said, yeah, this is not coming up. You never sent us this joke. And you said, oh, well, that's possible. Hey, how do you search through a text? And there's just a lot going on there. I'm like, teaching Dan how to search
the search
text.
thing was right in the middle of the screen. It's a very valuable tool.
Oh, yeah. No, that's why they make it so easy for most people to find.
Yeah. I think this might be like my, one of several learning disabilities. And I think it might be why I'm a slob. It might just search a lot of things. Something can be right in front of my face, and I won't, I just don't even recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad this happened, because now you're going to be able to search for all sorts of things.
I probably met my wife already.
She's just, you should look for some kind of text that said, last night was great. Let's do it again sometime soon.
Yeah. A search bar of the heart. That's a bad song.
But a great rom-com.
Rom-com.
But think about all the bets you keep forgetting, like what the parameters were. You can search for that now.
Oh, did we make that bet on this podcast? How much do I owe Patterson?
I don't know. What is the bet that you're talking about?
We bet over-unders. Did we bet over-unders for the year on this?
No, because we weren't doing this when the season started.
Oh, we weren't?
No.
Oh, so this must be in the text. Over-under for the Celtics for the year, and Patterson took the over. He claims I owe him $14,000.
That sounds right.
That is more than my previous record bet of $50.
Well, you know, what you can do is just do a search for $14,000. And if you don't find that, then you know that you are correct.
What if a bunch of things come up?
Then you need to delete it and you need to move.
Yeah, for some
Or
reason
you
I
need
thought
to start getting a lot
over-unders.
more weekend gigs.
We took over-unders for the year. I thought. Do you want to do bets of, the playoff seedings aren't built yet?
Yeah. No, but next week we can do some playoff bets.
Yeah. Who do you think comes out of, well, it all depends on matchups, I suppose, and health, but.
I currently would be very surprised if it was not Phoenix, Milwaukee again.
I would live with that.
I'd be fine with that. That was a fun series. I like everybody on those teams. I think a rematch is always fun. A chance for a team to avenge a loss. That's good. And a chance for a team to really establish themselves as a little mini dynasty.
Oh, and I think the Freak's only going to keep getting better.
He is getting better all the time. Every year his game improves.
Yeah. So he'll end up in the kind of Duncan category by the time he's done.
Yep. So something we were talking about. Is there a chance Tim Duncan was actually better than LeBron James?
No.
No chance.
No. But for the era he was drafted in, maybe yes. But LeBron also would have just been a fucking bruiser power forward then and been unbelievable too.
Possibly. I mean, I was looking at it, and here's the thing that's confusing. You look at the stats, and Duncan never scored as much as LeBron did. But the league didn't score as much. I mean, Duncan came into the league
in the
dead ball era. Yeah. And then you look at it, and he just does first team All NBA year after year after year.
Yeah,
he was all defense year after
games.
year. Always won 50, multiple MVPs. How many MVPs did he win?
I'm going with
3
2.
or 4.
4.
Paul, can you look that up, please?
The never didn't win 50 games is very impressive. He did also come into the league older than LeBron.
He did.
Yeah, but then he's got the other impressive one where he was Finals MVP 14 years apart.
Yeah.
So I think you could easily say the best players since Jordan are Duncan, LeBron, Shaq, Kobe. I don't want to.
Now we're getting
Kobe is the last of those.
Yeah. Kobe has never been as good as Duncan. I can't even have the debate.
No GM would pick Kobe Bryant over Tim Duncan.
No. No. Jerry West,
But who's the
even
fourth
at his most
best player?
dishonest, would not.
Who's the fourth best player?
Of that era?
Yeah.
So, are we just saying who's the fourth best player since Jordan?
Since Jordan.
I mean, Kevin Durant's got to be in the conversation.
Oh, yes. Over Kobe for sure.
Yeah. I'm taking Durant over him.
Dirk's in there.
Yeah. Steph.
Yeah. You'll take Steph over Kobe.
I think I would take Steph over Kobe.
Yeah, I would too. He's less rape charges.
That is true. One thing that tells you how much people carry water for Kobe is that no one calls it the rape case. Everyone just calls it Colorado. It's like whenever they talk about Kobe, it's like, and Colorado happened. But here's the thing. Yeah. It's a state. It's a state.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Do you mean the time he took all that medical marijuana?
Right. You mean when he was hiking too much and he was too tired during the playoffs? Is that what you mean by Colorado?
He should have tried to blame the altitude.
I think he did. He tried to blame everybody. He threw Shaq under the bus.
He threw her underwear under the bus
happened.
For sure. What was it? Six different kinds of semen?
It was bad.
Yeah. I wonder what she's doing now.
I hope she's okay. But yeah, Kobe, I wish people could be a little bit more honest about who Kobe was. It's like, just as a basketball player, purely basketball, top 20 all time, I'm fine with that. Top 5, insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nobody puts him in the top. I'm talking since
People
Michael
put
Jordan.
People put him in the top 5 all time. Laker fans are completely unreasonable about this.
Okay. I feel like I'm missing people, though, in my post-Jordan.
Tim Duncan was a 2-time MVP and a 3 times finals MVP.
Yeah. You get that?
Okay. Yep, I got it. Thank you, Paul.
That's still quite a lot.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
I thought he had 3. So I was wrong on that.
I mean, very few people have 3 MVPs.
That is true.
But yeah, no, there's a guy on YouTube, and he came up with a case for 7 players of all time you could say are the greatest player of all time. And Duncan was like the 7th. And he has the worst case of any of those people. But it's a good case.
Right.
The number one case being the metrics kind of bear out and that they just don't show as well and they're not as sexy, but he might be the best defensive player of all time.
Duncan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, he was all defense, like year after year after year.
Yeah. Because especially those last teams, he was old. Like wicked old playing on one leg. He still made a first team.
Mm-hmm.
So we like Tim Duncan.
We do. We're big fans of Tim Duncan on the Boston Centric podcast. Mm-hmm. The man should have been a Celtic.
Yep. Ron Mercer was fine.
He's almost Tim Duncan.
Oh, wait, we got Billups with that pick.
We got Billups. Well, we got Billups and Mercer.
And
so we
Mercer.
had the number 3 and the number 5.
Did we miss anybody after Mercer? Well, the obvious one we missed is Joe Forte instead of Tony Parker was the next year. That was a bit of a goof.
Yeah. But that year, Pitino could have taken McGrady and instead took Ron Mercer. If anything, it's possible that it's understated how badly Rick Pitino did running the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. He might have been better.
He's remembered as a train wreck.
He was better to his assistant coaches than he was to.
Yeah.
He fucked his wife's coach. Assistant coach's wife.
His coach. There you go.
Yeah. In the function room of his own restaurant. The same week as he won the national championship and the Kentucky Derby. Good week for Ricky.
But only for 6 seconds.
Well, he's a full court press guy.
He's all about pressure.
That shit doesn't work in the pros, but in the function room of my own restaurant, come as fast as I want.
It's the best thing about owning your own restaurant.
People have been complaining about the cream of mushroom.
Anyway,
Got you a little red on that one.
you did. I mean, I felt like the cream of soup was coming.
Good thing it wasn't a Chinese place.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. All right. So what were we talking about? The Celtics?
Tim Duncan?
Yeah. So you should have been a Celtic.
Celtics playoff positioning. Well, the ideal is
Celtics
to
play
play
positioning.
The ideal is to play Cleveland or Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I normally would want us to
Chicago's-
play the best team possible because if you're going to lose, at least I get to see them play the Nets, and that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if
The
Time
Rob
Lord's,
Williams factor changes
if
everything.
Time Lord's going to be out, then yeah, let's try to sweep somebody, or knock somebody out quick and then rest them up.
Yep. Get Williams back. If Williams is back, this team could do something. If he's back and healthy.
Yeah. Do you think Stevens could be executive of the year?
Probably not.
I mean, the trading him in the middle of the year. Now, it may fuck us picks wise later. Our draft prospects are bad in the coming years. But it was a good trade, and getting Tice back turned out to be genius.
Very helpful.
Yeah, like he kind of
Very helpful. He did a very good job, and I think it's appreciated. Executive of the year never goes to the guy who put some finishing touches on the piece. It's always the guy who made one big move and revamped their team.
Okay.
So executive of the year will be some team that, I mean, it was going to be probably the guy in Chicago before Chicago fell off. Now
Perhaps
I'm not
it
sure who
still
executive
should
of the
be.
year is
I
going to
mean,
be.
they haven't made the playoffs in fucking
That is true.
almost
He's
10
got
years.
a case.
Yeah.
He valued DeMar DeRozan when nobody did, and he was right.
Yeah. I'll tell you who it is not is Lakers.
Lakers, epic disaster.
So-
Epic disaster. And they have no way out.
The worst I've ever seen. Wasn't there like a Baltimore Orioles team that spent all the money in the world and they came out and were just shit from day one? Or was it the Indians? I can't think. One team spent a ton of money in the offseason. They came out and they were all just old.
That happened with the Miami Marlins when they moved into their new stadium.
Uh-huh.
They spent a lot in free agency to make the fans happy, and then they started off bad, and then they immediately gave those guys away and went back to spending no money on players.
Yeah. But then I'm trying to think. In basketball, I've never seen it this bad.
Not this bad, no.
Like that Nets team was a disappointment, but that Nets team also won a playoff series.
Right. Yeah, they got there.
Yeah.
They just got too old.
And then that Lakers team with Gasol and Howard and Nash, they sucked.
Mm-hmm. But I think they also made the playoffs, didn't they?
Didn't that the year Kobe tore his Achilles?
Yes.
Yeah,
I still think they made the playoffs.
Was it in the playoffs that happened?
No, but it was towards the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kobe
I
and
do think
Justin.
you're right. That was the year. They're practically twins. They've lived parallel lives almost the whole way through,
They both have their own.
which is why we're not letting Tom
I
fly.
don't know if Tom has a Mamba mentality.
Oh, Tom's got a mama mentality.
I think that saying I have a Mamba mentality is worse than being a rapist.
It might have been.
Anybody
Giving
that takes
yourself-
themselves that seriously.
Just giving yourself the nickname is bad.
Did he call himself the Mamba? He didn't nickname himself the.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. There's a whole thing about how he's like, from now on, I'm going to be the Black Mamba. The Black Mamba
Looks
is
like somebody
incredibly
saw
deadly.
Kill
They're
Bill
straight with
last
frightening
night.
accuracy. Yeah.
That's so
Yep,
weak.
he
He just
named
ripped it
himself.
off from a Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm. He named himself the Black Mamba. Yep.
It's a shame.
Yeah, look into that.
Wish he had seen at least a better Tarantino movie.
Yeah, it would have been nice if he had called himself the Jew Hunter.
Better than if Dirk
That would have
Nowitzki
been-
called himself that.
Yeah, I don't know if Dirk could have gotten away with that.
I wanted it to be Dirk
Yeah,
Nowitzki
but
and the
this is-
Blitzkrieg All-Stars.
Do the Lakers have any way out of that out of their current shit show?
They do. I think. Well, I was listening to the Simmons, so not my idea, but Gordon Hayward and him kind of line up. So you could trade. You'd have to eat another year of a contract, but you'd trade Westbrook to Charlotte. They'd buy him out, and then Hayward, who at this point we'll say he can't be healthy, but he would weirdly fit very good with LeBron.
I don't understand why Charlotte does that.
Shorter contract.
Only by 1 year.
I mean,
and it's like the same money.
Yeah, so you get out of the 1 year.
Hayward signed for less money, though. If you're buying out Westbrook, you're probably buying him out for close to the total of the contract. Hayward is arguably a better player at this point, who is having a hard time staying on the court.
But they got guys at that position and shit. I don't know. I just think it would weirdly to get out of that deal a little quicker, because I think they want to get out of that deal before they have to pay. They want to get out of that deal before they have to pay Ball. Because once you pay Ball, you're at the cap, and you can't get a new guy in there.
I just don't see. I think Charlotte
they don't
would
have
probably
Bridges.
like to get out.
Bridges is on Phoenix, but who's their Bridges? Yeah. They have another guy that's just like him.
I don't know.
He's awesome.
I know what you're talking about, but you're still. Here's my point. I think they would like to get out from under the Hayward contract. If you bring in Westbrook, you're going to basically be spending the exact same money, so you're not saving anything. So why do it?
One less year.
But
which was kind of which was kind of the thinking on us getting Al Horford for Kemba.
But the big difference there is Al Horford's a better player, and Al Horford
we didn't know that.
No, we didn't. But they were making the same amount of money. Gordon Hayward makes half as much as Russell Westbrook, so you're not
Gordon
saving
Hayward
any
still
money.
makes like 32.
Not 32. Can we check? I'm sorry, Paul. Can we check the contracts on that?
Check in on Gordon Hayward.
Paul, thank you.
I don't know why I've always been kind of fascinated with Gordon. I think Gordon Hayward's actually a really good player.
He's a great player, if he could stay healthy. Hayward's on almost positive is in the 20s.
Okay. At least it's a meaty contract that could eat up a good chunk of it.
It is, but Westbrook is in the 40s. So my overall point again is, okay, it's a year shorter, but you're paying so much in that year that you're not saving any money. So what's the point of doing it? You'd be better off just trying to trade Hayward and throwing in a pick just to get off the contract.
Yeah.
Well, talk to Oklahoma City and give them away.
The Lakers, I guess, are not as rich as other teams. Like, they're worth a lot, but the ownership doesn't have, like, fuck you money. The richest owner is Gilbert, Dan Gilbert.
I think the guy in Memphis is now the richest.
Yeah. But my point is the Lakers might not be as willing as other teams to just buy out contracts.
No, because it's owned by the whole family. And all of them make their money from the Lakers.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they don't have independent businesses where they're making tons of money. And this is not fuck you money for them.
Have you kept up on that show?
I have.
You like it?
I really liked the first episode, and it's been going downhill since then.
Yeah. I didn't. I haven't watched it since. But did you know the guy that plays Norm Nixon is Norm Nixon's kid?
I did know that.
That's pretty cool. I listened to him on Cedric Maxwell's podcast. Norm Nixon. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one. But he was talking about how bullshit that fucking scene was, because he was like, let me ask you, like, when does the NBA season end? And he goes, well, June. He's like, do you think I was at a party in LA in a mink coat in the middle of fucking June?
Yeah. That's one of the big problems with Winning Time is it's like, oh, wow, it's the inside story of the Lakers dynasty. And they are playing really fast and loose with the facts of what was going on.
Yeah. Jerry West should sue them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chick Hearn should sue them.
Oh, really?
I mean, Jerry West at least is like, he's obsessed with winning and he's really angry and he just wants to be the best. Like, Chick Hearn is a racist moron on this show.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing there wasn't a Johnny Most character.
Yeah. Yeah, Red Auerbach's a serial killer.
30 million. Westbrook's is 41 million.
Okay, so Westbrook makes 11 million more.
Okay.
We check the math on that, but I think that's $11 million more dollars.
That might check out.
But, so you throw a mid-level exception guy in there, and you could conceivably do that. But like you said, what's in it for?
Yeah. I keep wondering. I saw on Twitter last night the possibility of a trade with Toronto, and I think it's a fake account, but it was staggering to me how believable I found this fake trade, which is going to be Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby and a couple of picks for Westbrook and Davis, which sounds kind of insane, but actually makes a lot of sense. And if I was the Lakers,
who that sucks for is
I think
Anthony
I would do
Davis.
That. Yeah.
You moved from LA to Toronto from the months of October to May. That sucks.
Although Toronto supposedly is one of the sneaky favorite cities of NBA players. Like players who actually get there go, oh, wow, this is really great.
Maybe to visit,
They love
but
that
you
city.
don't want to live in 2 degrees when you could live in 75 degrees.
Yeah. Players don't usually want to make the LA to Toronto move. But I don't think LA wants to. I don't know that they're in love with the idea of paying Davis, who can't stay healthy.
I'd pay him. Totally pay him. Because sometimes with a guy like that, if he doesn't stay healthy, now we suck, and we get lottery picks. And if he does stay healthy, maybe I got him at a small discount.
But they don't have any of their picks. They gave them all to New Orleans. That's the problem.
So
they're
maybe they can trade him and replenish their whatever the hell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Toronto loves VanVleet.
They do, but if you're Toronto and you really like VanVleet, but Davis, if he's healthy, is a great player.
Davis Siakam's tough. Siakam's suddenly really good again.
He's great. Yeah.
I think that bubble affected him more than others.
I think so too.
Whereas
but
some of
Siakam's
us
back.
thrived.
Yep. Siakam's back. If you actually got that deal through, I admired from a distance how well you thrived during lockdown. If you're Toronto and you actually did that deal, all right, you got to suck it up and have Westbrook for a little while. But you've got Scotty Barnes, Siakam, and Anthony Davis all on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a front court.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay.
I think I would do that if I was Toronto. And I think I might do that if I was the Lakers.
Yeah, they will have to replenish those picks.
They're going to have to get some picks back. You can't have two guys that you're afraid might not be healthy anymore with LeBron and Davis. You can take a gamble on one of them.
Well, one problem for the Celtics is we've traded picks away. But conceivably, what if, and it's very possible that during the playoffs, they figure out a way to, Tatum's not hitting that step back, and they leave it to Brown and Tatum to hit jump, or, they kind of freeze them out a little bit. And now it's up to us. Our offense becomes stagnant again. Would you trade Brown and picks for Davis?
Nope. I wouldn't trade Brown straight up for Davis.
Because of the health?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I look at Anthony Davis. Davis is the oldest 28-year-old I've ever seen in my life. He has never been able to stay healthy.
Yeah. But this year, the thing that got him unhealthy, and same thing with Hayward, by the way, is when you jump and you land and roll an ankle, if you get a high ankle sprain, that's a basketball injury. It's not a torn Achilles. It's not an ACL.
Injuries, though. There's something about different players' bodies, though, where look, there's a reason that LeBron never got hurt until he was finally in his late 30s. There's something about certain guys where you are more prone to getting hurt, and it takes you longer to come back. They're not saying that he's soft. I'm not saying he's weak. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. But something about Anthony Davis and the way his body works, he gets hurt easier, and it takes him longer to come back.
Okay.
And there are guys in every sport that are like that. People are just built differently. And he is built in a way, as talented as he is, that he is more prone to injury, and it takes him longer to recover.
But sometimes guys are like that until they're not. Marcus Camby was hurt his whole 20s, and then he played till he was 40.
He did, but then he was playing less. I mean, he
won a defensive player of the year late in his career.
He was a talented guy, but when he got later, he was playing 20, 25 minutes a game. That was what his body could handle. When he was younger, they were trying to have him be a 40-minute guy, and his body couldn't handle that.
Yeah, he came in so skinny, I think, that it was
Yeah.
silly. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, Anthony Davis is so talented that somebody's going to give something for him.
Somebody will give something for him. I'm not giving Jalen for him.
Okay.
I think Jalen's too good. He's too talented. He's
playing awesome.
Yeah. We've seen what this team is capable of being with the two of them. Yep. And this is an age where you come into
getting
your own.
hurt has a lot to do with that, I think.
With how good Jalen has been?
Yeah.
He was great with Time Lord.
I know, but he's been, I think he had 9 straight games at 25 or more. Because we're basically with Tice playing 5 out. Yeah. Like the lanes are just wide open.
Which is another thing that you have to like about Jalen is that when they need him, he's been able to step up.
Yeah, no. But that's why I'm saying, like, I think a team would trade Anthony. Anthony Davis was in the top 75 players of all time. And like you said, most people have only complaints about him. Like, that's how good he is.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I can't see that deal happening because if I look at that, I think if the Celtics call up the Lakers and say, we'll give you Jalen for Davis, the Lakers are driving Davis to the airport. They would jump at that deal.
Okay. I'm like we said, though, the freak might go down as Tim Duncan-esque.
He might be better.
To beat him, we're going to need, you might just need a front court that's fucking dominant. And Davis, I would say, Davis gives you a higher ceiling than Brown would give you.
I don't know that I see that anymore. I'm looking at young Anthony Davis. Yeah, I'm looking at Anthony Davis calcifying on the court. He doesn't move well anymore. And I'm not positive that comes back just because his ankle heals. Like all year, he's been moving badly, even before he got hurt. You're just looking at him and going, wow, the injuries have taken their toll.
Yeah, well, he came in heavier for sure. But a bunch of guys do that. A bunch of guys, like Luka came in heavy this year. And he got nothing but shit for it. But part of me doesn't have a problem with the guy showing up. If he's going to be playing 40 minutes, like he'll play his way into shape. And that's, to me, in a way better than him rolling his ankle and playing in the summer.
Yeah. I think there is a possibility that everything you were saying is true. There are too many things that need to break right for Anthony Davis to still be a great player, in my book. I'm not that interested in gambling on Anthony Davis anymore. Okay. There's been too many issues. Jalen does not have as many question marks. I would rather have Jalen right now. There are plenty of guys I would love to trade Anthony Davis for. Jalen's not one of them. And I think a healthy Rob Williams is going to be able to do a lot against the best big men.
Yes, but like I said about being able to play 5 out, Davis lets you play 5 out, and he's good at it. So
if he's healthy, if he's playing well, if he's the old Anthony Davis, if.
I mean, he's such a good shooter that you would figure a guy like that would age well.
You'd hope, but I mean, if he's just a shooter, then it's negating what you're saying you need him to be there for. I mean, we don't need Sam Perkins.
No, but he's better than Sam Perkins.
Just picking a big man who just stayed outside and shot a lot.
Yeah. But no, if late in his career, he's just long, smart, and can protect the rim and shoot. I mean, that's what we hoped Kristaps Porzingis would be.
Yeah. I don't know that he's going to be able to protect the rim.
Okay.
I don't know.
I got you.
And I don't even think Davis came in out of shape. When you talk about him being big, I don't think he came in like Harden or Luka where they just didn't exercise. I think he tried to get stronger to play center. Yeah. I mean, he didn't come in fat.
James Harden, my working new theory is that he's drunk.
He might be.
That has to be it. Guys don't lose it. Guys don't lose it that fast. He lost it in his early 30s.
He also had a ton of miles, though. I mean, there are not a lot of guys that size who had that kind of mileage on.
What's he, 32?
He's somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, Chris Paul's a foot shorter than him, and he's 37, and he's still fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul also transitioned to being like, plant-based diet and devoted to working out all the time. Harden is not that guy. Harden lives hard.
Yeah, that's my thinking. Is he's like a Derek Lowe situation where I think Derek Lowe would have like contract year. He'd be like just switching to beer, and then he wouldn't drink in the playoffs, and it'd be money. But I mean, there was that year where he was a closer, and you could see the booze sweat on the guy.
I don't know. I have no evidence of that. I'm told he enjoyed his beverages.
Mm-hmm. How's Tiger doing, by the way?
Let me see. Tiger, he's walking away from the hole. They're showing like highlights and people are clapping. So I think he did okay. That's a very good shot they're showing right there.
Yeah, I need him to shoot. I need him to shoot 74 or lower.
Let me see. Tiger Woods, par 4 for birdie. So you got a birdie there on 14. I don't think this is live.
His swing looks great.
They're showing him. Okay. Second round, +1.
No shit. Oh, so he made some birdies on the back.
Yep. So +1 through 14.
Excellent. $10.
And supposedly in these conditions, +1 is pretty good today.
Oh yeah, no, that'll put him. I think the leaders are at 3 under.
Yes, he's right there. Yeah. He's not going to win, but he's going to make the cut.
These other guys, Paul. Today's show is sponsored by Guinness.
You are. That is a Guinness you're working on.
It is, yeah. Key West really kind of alters your habits.
Is Key West a big Guinness area?
No, but if I don't want to drink, really, I drink Guinness.
Oh, okay, I got you. How was Key West? Was it fun?
Oh, it was awesome. The whole Florida trip was great. I went to Tampa with List for a weekend. Nice. And we smoked some cigars and just wrote some jokes. Very effective joke writing set. I very rarely have those. But he actually seemed like he wanted to do it. So I think that's the problem with most comedy joke writing sessions is we're actually we're just too awkward to actually say to another guy that I want to get lunch.
Well, the nice thing about working with somebody like List too is like, hey, I burned all of these in my special, so I have to write.
Yeah. Like even this, like
most of the people,
there's enough listeners to this that this could honestly be a phone call. And,
there's no reason this couldn't be a phone call.
But if you called me during the day, I would think you needed a fucking kidney or something.
You'd give me a kidney if I needed it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm calling the diabetic guy for a kidney, I really need the kidney.
Would they let me give you one?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
We definitely have to go to international waters to make this. Yeah. To make sure one of us didn't end up in jail. How far out do you have to go to be in international waters? What is it, 8 miles?
I only know this from a Simpsons episode, but I thought it was 10.
Might be 10.
That's a great episode. The monkey knife fight.
I think I saw that.
There's a couple great ones in that episode. Yeah, I'm going to watch that one.
I should watch more old Simpsons. They're all there on Disney Plus, and I never get around to watching them.
They're on season 30 or something like that.
They need to stop.
It's just gone on a little too long.
There's a point, and they might still be making great shows, but it's like, look, guys, you're diluting it to the point where I don't want to watch any of them anymore. There's so many, it feels overwhelming.
It is cool when you watch the old ones and then it comes up executive producer Conan O'Brien.
That is fun.
Yeah.
You watch Mr. Plow.
I would love it. That would be a great thing, by the way. If just give Conan an animated series.
I'm sure they're ready to if he wants it.
He must not want it. I think he likes having a talk show, but nobody watches talk shows.
I think he's going to be he signed a deal with HBO, so he's going to be doing something with them. I don't think it's going to be a straight up talk show like he used to do. I think it's probably going to be more a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Like his Conan Without Borders.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
Because he loves doing the travel stuff. So
Only the
I think
Cuba. I
that's what he's
remember the
gonna
Cuba
do.
one's great, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah. No, they were all pretty great. But he's got the podcast. It's like the top rated podcast still on all the lists. So
Is it the top
he's
rated?
got that. Yeah, it was for a long time.
It's good. It's fucking great. But
Yeah.
he just had Slash on,
Did he?
which is also
I
our
also
dream
saw that.
guest.
Slash, we're here. We're waiting for you. We couldn't even get Patterson. I'm not sure if we're getting Slash.
Patterson's a tougher get.
He is a tougher get.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no chance that he's just like passed out in Peru somewhere.
From his texts he sent us earlier, he's passed out in Peru somewhere.
Yeah, James Patterson is not conscious right now.
There were a lot of typos.
Yep. All right. Let's leave on that thought of a prayer for James Patterson. All right. Next week we are going to come back. We're going to be doing some playoff bets between us. And you should bet really. You should bet pretty big because
I'm down.
Yeah. You're
You're
down
gonna be
one
getting
book at
2
the
books.
moment. Someday.
Are you in town at all?
Dare to
Can I give you
dream.
this book?
I am in Wellesley on Saturday night.
I'll be in Saratoga Springs, New York.
What are you doing in Saratoga Springs?
It's my business.
All right.
Are
you doing a show?
I can drop it to you on the way back. Aren't you off the pike?
I am off the pike.
All right, I'll put the book in the car
Okay.
if I remember.
I'm looking forward to it. But start thinking about how you want these bets to happen next week.
Why don't we
betting-
go? Why don't we go first round? We'll just it's an even number of series. So we can tie.
You know what we need to do? What I want to do next week, we're going to do a playoff draft. So we're going to do a snake draft. And we get to just draft the teams that we think are most likely to win the title.
No, what if we do the first round for a sports book?
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll change it. We'll change it to something else.
All right. I like the idea of drafting teams, though.
But what if we do a snake draft? Like you pick a round, I pick a round, you pick a round, I pick a. We'll figure
There
it
you
out.
go. We'll figure it out.
And I'll try
It's
to.
not
interrupt.
like we. Yeah.
I'll
it's
try
not
to
like we're
interrupt
not
you
a
less,
well-planned
so that I'm
podcast.
more welcome in your fucking home.
Yeah. Leave the book on the porch.
All right. Go Bees.
Don't knock. All right. Go Bruins.